Hi everyone, it's Ann. Today we're going to take a look at my 10 most favorite decks in Oracle decks in 2022. I just did my 10 most favorite tarot decks in 2022 2 days ago, and today we're going to take a look at Oracle decks. I was thinking about doing it, I wasn't sure, but then I had a request to do it, so I said, okay, I'll go ahead and do it. I'm going to mention this deck. This deck is not in the top 10 only because I just got it and I have not used it yet. But I did read the guidebook and I did do an unboxing on it and a flip through on it just last week, I believe. And it's a very nice deck, so it's worth mentioning, but it's not fair for me to put it in the top 10 because I haven't used it. I don't know exactly how it reads. But for those who are on the twin flame journey, or who do a lot of love readings, relationship readings, it's a very good deck from what I can tell and from what I can read in the guidebook, because it breaks it down into suits, and it seems like it goes really deep as far as relationship goes and the process and the growth we go through in relationship. I'm showing you some of the words here. And it is a twin flame deck, but there are cards in here. See, karmic relationship, false twin flame soulmate, twin flame facilitator, masculine twin, feminine twin, king, queen, high priestess, high priest, high priestess, twin flame. So it's, I think it's a very helpful deck as far as finding relationship blocks, where you are, if you are in the twin flame journey or path, what's blocking it, how to connect with your twin. And even if you don't believe in twin flames or don't resonate with twin flame, I think it may be a good deck for relationships, and of course a lot of us have relationships, no matter what type, friendship or love relationship, romantic relationship, all those are more popular. So I thought it was a deck worth mentioning because it's I think it's helpful in relationship, but I can't really say how well it reads because I have not used it yet because I just got it. All right, so let's go ahead and start with my top 10. Number 10 is Divine Beloved. Now the last 3, 10, 9, 8, 7 are pretty new decks that I just literally gotten for the Black Friday sale. So I have not used it too much, maybe once or twice. But I wanted to include it from what I've read from it so far, and also to show my favorites so far. I don't read as much and I don't use as much Oracle decks as I do tarot decks, but I do use them as far as I use them mostly as clarifier cards with my tarot readings. The reason this is made it to my top 10 favorite decks for 2022 is because I like the keywords, and I read with it last night, and the keywords are very accurate and right on. And so if you're looking for clarification, if something isn't clear when you're doing a tarot reading, this is very helpful. Now, I didn't do a tarot reading. I was just playing with the deck by itself. It has soulmate in here as well, so it's good for love reading as well. And I was just pulling and cards and playing with it and asking questions, and it was pretty accurate. And I really like the keywords. They have very good keywords in here. So it is number 10 on my list. It is the Divine Beloved Oracle Cards by Tosha Sova, and it's published by Hay House. Doesn't have a guidebook, it just comes with this little card. All right, so that is my number 10 for oracle cards. All right. Divine Beloved. Now you can use it more as a spiritual deck as well, because it's meant as a Divine Beloved, but I do more love readings and twin flame soulmates, that type of reading. So that's my purpose in using it, is the keywords, and the keywords are perfect for love readings, but you can use it just as a spiritual deck as well, and read more of the affirmation, connecting you closer to source. Depending on your spiritual background, what source is to you. Okay. This has more of a Middle Eastern or Eastern feel to it. Okay, like yoga type feel, but you can use it, connect to source, whether it's the universe or God or Buddha or, Krishna or what have you. It's just, I think you can use it universally. All right. So number 9 is the Oracle of Portals. Again, this is a deck I just got. I have not used it much, but it is a very beautiful, beautiful deck. And this deck was gifted to me by Blue Angel. And I requested, because they had asked me what deck, do I want to get to do a review on, and I actually selected this, so I had a say in it, and it's beautiful. But not only is it beautiful, but last night I tested it. I did a reading with it, and it was right on. It was pretty accurate, as far as what's going on. It pinpointed. I did a career reading, and it was pretty accurate. The cards are large, and it's buttery soft. Very, very nice deck. Very beautiful deck. All right. Very, it has keywords as well. So good keywords. It's more spiritual path, spiritual journey. Very, very deep deck. And it's created like each card is like a portal, so you can meditate with it, and then imagining going into the portal. Like this one is perfect. Look at that. You can do your meditation and visualize going into this portal. So, all right. So very, very nice deck, and it comes in at number 9. It may have been higher on my list, but because I have not had a chance to use it too much, I wanted to include it in part of my top 10, but it came in as number 9 only because I haven't used it too much to say further. All right. To make it higher in that list. Okay, so number 8 is the Selfcare Wisdom cards. Now, just like with the tarot video I did, the way I'm doing my favorite is decks that I purchased in 2022 or acquire in 2022, not necessarily decks that were released in 2022. Okay, this is my very first year doing this, and so I wanted to share decks that I actually used and loved and like and read well for me in 2022, instead of it being released in 2022, because I have so many decks. All right, so the reason this made it to my top list, and this is by Hay House, Self-Care Wisdom cards, and this is the revised edition. There is an older edition of this, and when I did the video for this, I don't know if I did a comparison or not. I may have. So I got this updated version in 2022, this year, but there is an older version that's been out. Okay, and the reason this is in my top 10 list is of the keywords. Like I mentioned, I buy Oracle decks mostly, a lot of the time, not always, a lot of the times, is for the keywords. I'm looking for good keywords that will be good clarifier cards for my tarot readings. And these, and I've used this in readings, and this have good clarifier keywords for me to clarify something when a tarot reading is not clear. Now, it's meant to be a self-care deck, so of course you can use it that way and draw a card daily for those of you who wants to, work on yourself, starting out the new year, focusing on self-love, self-care, time for yourself. So of course that you can use that deck for the reason it was intended. I read intuitively as far as tarot and oracle, so I usually do my own thing. I don't follow preset stuff half the time. I don't pay attention or read anything. If I'm drawn to a deck, I resonate with the deck, I buy it, and then I use it however I naturally feel drawn to using it. But it is meant to be a self-care deck, so of course you can use it that way, but I use it as clarifier cards in my tarot reading. Of course, this is self-love, self-worth. So it's a great deck for clarifiers, but it's also a great deck for self-care as well. But I didn't use it for that purpose, as I mentioned. Did I mix up all the cards? I think I mixed it all up. Oh well. Alright, so that deck, and who is it by? It's by Cheryl Richardson. So that is number 8. So number 7 is another deck that I just got, the Lion Oracle. This is another deep deck, and it resonates more with star seeds. If you resonate, if you resonate with star seeds or feel connection, it does come with this large guidebook. But it also reads accurately. Here's the back. It's more plasticky, larger oracle card size. But it has also good keywords as well. But it's also a very deep deck and very, very whirly and astral-like theme. Although it has Middle Eastern, Egyptian theme as well. But very deep, powerful deck. Sexual liberation, infinite wisdom. So, see, it's like out there. Out, really high vibrational, out in the universal cosmo. It talks about mission possible, boundaries. So, you would probably resonate with this deck if you feel, you have a mission or looking for a mission, or feel like you're a starseed, or like lions. There's a lot of lion themes. And Lyran is a star system. So if you connect with the Lion star system, which is the lion, you may resonate with this deck. I think it was out of stock, but I don't know. Keep an eye on it. I think someone told me it was out of stock. So it may, I don't know if it is or not available, but I did put the link on my original video. And by the way, all of these, if you haven't seen it, I do have a playlist called Oracle, mass produced Oracle decks, and independently produced Oracle deck. Most of these that we've seen so far are mass produced. You can look into the playlist, and under each video I have a link for you to go to the product if you're interested in buying. But I'm going to try to put the link under this video also if I get a chance, which I did do for the Oracle decks. But if I don't, you can go to the playlist under mass produced Oracle under each video. Okay, so number 6 is the Urban Crow Oracle. And this is by MJ Cullinane. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that correctly. And this is published by Hay House. All right, this is the theme for this deck is crow. Of course, it's urban crow. But the reason this is in my top 10 list once again is the keywords, and it reads well. It reads accurately as well. And the picture, even though it's a crow, the theme is the crow, the picture matches the word really nicely. Sacred space, soar, teamwork, anomaly. See, very, very nice keyword balance. Upheaval. So distance, protection. Very good keyword. And I didn't read with it a lot, but I did do a couple readings with it. Oh, Bond, look at this. So it's good for relationship readings as well, because it has a lot of cards like these. Communication, insight, wrath. You can feel the energy and see it's wrath. See, it's very clear as far as clarifying. Warning, waterproof, isolation, scavenge, self-interest, play, illusion. I was trying to find a card. I wanted to share it with you guys, but I can't see. That's why I'm going through the whole... Okay, this card right here, commitment. I had drew this card in a reading, and I read the guidebook, and this was a picture taken, I believe, by the author, and one of the birds, one of the crow broke his beak, and the other crow actually fed him while he was healing from his beak being broken. It's the sweetest thing. I actually got this deck. I actually got this card in a reading, commitment, and it talks about how crows, when they mate, usually they say swans mate when they mate for life. It explains how how loyal they are, how committed, and it talks about commitment. And it described this picture that the author took of when one of the crow broke his beak. It's beak, how the other crow fed it. It's very good. So accurate reading, reads well, excellent keywords. All right, so you can use this deck as a standalone, as you can see, or as clarifier deck as well, because it reads well by itself as well. All right, so that is number 6. Number 5 in my favorite for 2022 is Visions of the Soul, Meditation and Portal Cards. So it's by Kim Dreyer, and I believe it's published by U.S. Games. Yeah, it's published by U.S. Games. I have a lot of favorites decks that are by U.S. Games. They have good card stock and overall good quality cards. So it does come with a guidebook. And now we're going up again. So I take you down and then I take you back up. So here's the back of the cards. Very pretty, outer worldly, celestial. And this deck has all the chakras, your energy center, your chakras. It's another very high vibrational deck that's out there. Intergalactic communication. So again, if you're a starseed, or if you resonated with the angels, because they have a lot of angels in this deck, Xenophon, earth grounding. So very, very high vibrational deck, but it reads well. Infinity Creator. Very beautiful deck. Nice card stock. Is thick. So with Oracle cards, it's a little bit different, this video, than with my tarot, because this is more for the picture of the deck and more of the key words. So I haven't shuffled. Where's the tarot? I look for the cardstock, how well it shuffles. Does it read well? Is it accurate? I don't use oracle cards as much, so this is more for the beauty, I guess, the pictures of the cards, and also for the keywords. So that's how I rate my oracle cards. So a little bit different than my rating of the tarot decks. All right. So number 4 is the Witching Hour Oracle. I acquired this early in the year. It's by Cheryl Gerhardt in a hard case box, kind of smaller size box. It does come with a nice guidebook. I believe this is also by US Games. Yeah, it's US Games. Here are the backs. Very nice size cards for petite hands, not overly oversized. They're just a little larger than a plaid back. So it's good. But again, the keywords. And I did do readings with this deck. And they have excellent keywords. Self-reliance, relax. All right. And it's really nice deck to hold if you have small hands. It shuffle well as well. Sideway or this way. All right. All right. So number 3. Getting to the top 3 is the Soul Helper Oracle. And this is by Christine Arana Fader. And it's published by Earth Dancer. It's in one of these square boxes that's similar to Hay House boxes. It does come with a guidebook. And I haven't used this deck in a while. Here's the back. But I used it more at the beginning of the year when I acquired it, when I purchased it. Enter the temple of your truth. Release your creative energies. Live in the world. Lost in the ruins of the past. The time is right. The love of your dragons. Very pretty card, very colorful, bright, bold colors. Protect what you love, rise above the dark days. So I think it gives good messages. A partnership for the new age. A new strategy is required. Have courage. The tree. All right. So that's number 3 on my list of favorite of Oracle decks. All right, and number 2 is the Metaphysical Cannabis Oracle deck. And this is it's published by Sterling Ethos. It looks like Maggie Wilson. Let's see. It's in one of these where the magnet's at the bottom. You pull out this way. It does have a guidebook. Trying to confirm the author. Yeah, Maggie Wilson. The reason this is number 2, and I haven't read too much with this. I was trying to put this book back. I haven't read too much with this, The reason this is number 2 is it's the coolest deck ever. It's called an Oracle deck. This is the back. But the first 21 cards is the tarot. So it's a tarot deck. Here's the Hermit, but they changed the name, so they don't call it Hermit, they call it Solitude. But card number 1 through 21, so they have the major arcana in this deck. In this deck, along with oracle cards. And they have a totally different system. So as you can see, this silver thing, I wrote in, because they have a different system, I wrote in whether it's oracle or whatever the different system is. What does this say? High Priestess. So this is like, would be the High Priestess card. So I actually wrote in, there's a physical, so they have their own system, so I wrote it in because I don't know all their system. And then for the major arcana, I actually wrote it in, like, here's the Whirl, because they rename the major arcana. So it's kind of cool. So this is the Hangman. It's the coolest deck. Here's the Devil, because you get a mixture of tarot, and here's the Magician. They renamed it to Manifester. You get a mixture of tarot and oracle all in one deck. And the theme, of course, is cannabis, because it's a cannabis deck. It's very colorful. I love bright, bold colors. And it reads good as well. Here's the Death card, right? Oh, I didn't write it, but it looks like the Death card. So I thought this was the coolest thing to have, the best of both worlds, oracle and tarot together. And the cardstock is matte, and it shuffles well. It's just standard oracle card size. And I did do all of these decks, I did do individual videos on them, as I mentioned. So they would be in the playlist for those that are interested. It's a little, see, the cards are a little wider, longer. So they do riffle shuffle a little longer, and it's still a little hard. I haven't broken it in too much. I've only done a few readings with this deck. That very nice deck. All right. So that is my number 2 deck, Oracle deck for 2022, the Metaphysical Cannabis Oracle deck. All right. Drum roll. Number 1, hopefully you guys aren't disappointed. It's an older deck, very old deck. But I used it religiously, the Power of Surrender cards. Now, I sort of cheated in a way, because technically I had this deck way before 2022, but I did purchase a second copy in 2022, because the old deck, I lost one of the cards, or I was missing one of the cards, and I couldn't find it. And it's by Judith Orloff, MD, and it's published by Hay House. Doesn't come with a guidebook, but it does come with this pamphlet. But you don't really need a guidebook. There's a write-up. Now, I noticed in this newer, here's the backs, and it is plasticky. There's a laminate. The newer version have this little symbol on the side here, which I kind of don't like because it's distracting. The original doesn't have that. See this? The original doesn't have that. And I think the newer version is a little thinner. Not 100% sure. It feels thinner. Okay, but it's very pretty backs. Sunset or sunrise. And the reason this is my number 1 Oracle card deck is because it's my number 1 deck of all time as far as Oracle, in the sense that I use it the most. Like, I get a lot of mileage out of this deck, and how I use it is at the end of a tarot card reading. I'm trying to summarize everything up. I pull final cards, final messages, and it never fails. Like, I would say 9 out of 10 times it recaps the tarot reading perfectly. Like, if the person has been dealing with intimacy or fear of intimacy, lo and behold, this card's come out. Or if they're trying to fix someone or whatever, this card comes out. You know, if they need to have, you know, be more joyful, shift their vibration, this card comes out. And it tells you, you know, it has the key words or key phrase, but it also has the explanation. And they're surrender cards. So they're telling you what you need to surrender, release, or let go of. And you don't have to use it with a tarot deck, but you can use it just for yourself as to, what do I need to work on? What do I need to surrender? You can use it as a deck to work on your shadow side, you know, the side of you that you don't know exists, or that you're not willing to see, but you want to work on it. So it's very accurate in letting you know what you need to work on, what you need to release. Good for shadow work, as I mentioned, and then good for at the end of a tarot deck reading, and it summarizes my tarot deck readings very accurately. So very powerful deck, very accurate deck, very useful deck, very helpful deck. And that's why this is my #1 Oracle deck, I would say, of all time. But since it's my first year doing this, I want to include it in this. And technically, I did buy it in 2022. It's just not my first copy in 2022. But I use this deck a lot, so I want to include it. And it's the one deck that I can say I use many, many, many times for many readings. And it reads accurately well. Where a lot of these decks on here, I just purchased, and I may have only used it once or twice. All right? So hopefully you're not disappointed. It's an older deck, but it's a powerful deck, a very helpful deck. If you don't have it, you know, it's my favorite. I would recommend it. Once again, I do have a separate video for this if you want to see all the cards slower, under the playlist of mass-produced Oracle decks. And I'm going to try to put the links under this video as well. All right? So hopefully that was helpful and useful, and you enjoy that. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you again in the next video in the new year. Happy New Year, everyone. Today's December 31st, 2022, the last day of 2022. Take care, and I will see you in 2023 on the next video. Bye.